on the one side, we've got this huge interest from people. We'll use Bitcoin as the example here before going on to, decentralized finance in general. But we've got this huge interest from some people. It's, rage against the machine. We're breaking down governments and central control, and others are liking it for the technology. But in the main, we're looking at it and saying it's decentralized, it's safe, it's trustless, so that it's secure with the cryptology that sits behind it. It's immutable, so you can't go in and edit information that's been sitting there. And so it's, in theory, it's incredibly safe, at least if you can remember your private key or your password. But on the other hand, we're seeing that it's incredibly slow and cumbersome. 10 minutes to go and actually manufacture your trade that's going through. It's incredibly energy intensive, and it will get more energy intensive because as there's less coins to go and mine and more people participating, you're going to go and start to see even more acceleration in the actual machine power you need to go and drive this. So now we're bringing in the concerns about environmental factors because of that energy utilization. So some people also think that the transition fee is going to go up because as the value goes up, as more people use it, as the mining intensity goes up, it's going to cost more to go and do this. I'll give you just one last example. We're seeing, for example, on Coinbase, where Coinbase is literally minting it. They are charging not just basis points like the JSE would, they're charging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% for a transaction, if not more. So it's incredibly expensive. Do you really think this is going to get cheap? And do you think they'll solve those issues about the energy costs that are going with it?
Of course. First example, let me explain. The beauty of this technology is that it's open source in the internet. So anybody can create a cryptocurrency exchange. Anybody can come and do mining. So as I said, all these silos, all these protected mechanisms we gave the banks to be the only ones, where the economy says that if you're going to transact, you need to open a bank account. Why? Do you understand that we were absolutely, and I'm saying the collective we, that I was part of that regulatory environment, and that's what we did. We protected vested interest. In this case, anybody can come in. So for example, first let me handle the proof of work. Proof of work is the mechanism that Bitcoin uses in order to do the cryptography, the mathematical formula to make sure that nobody's cheating. That, yes, in some countries, it uses, electricity that is not coming from natural sources. But most of the countries that are using, that have got the mining rigs, like in China or Iceland, they're using natural resources. So it's this story about, oh my God, it's bad for the climate, whatever. I don't know. I can also put on the table that having all the mainframes and using Swift around the world is using a lot of electricity that comes from coal around the world. So that argument is really a poor argument. Number one. Wait, let me finish. And then,
using photovoltaic, right? So it's all going solar and wind, and that's the energy solution.
Yes.
Now we've got the second issue where it requires immense amounts of effort and complexity to actually go and drive this. So how do we now solve the second part, the cost aspect, so that it starts?
Okay, well, I'm getting there. Wait. The main thing I want to say, Ethereum, as you know, it was created in 2014. It brought an incredible improvement to the functionality and smart contracts and additional requirements that made the blockchain and Ethereum the Internet of Value. Ethereum is migrating to proof of stake. Proof of stake will not require electricity like proof of work. So here we got something that now you can tick resolve. Besides Ethereum, there are many platforms that are being invented today. And therefore, the competition will actually guide us as to who's going to be the most successful. Remember, Coinbase is the first one that is bringing to market something totally regulated and totally, compliant with absolutely every law and regulation that you can imagine, to the extent that they listed. And there are many cryptocurrencies exchanges. That's why we know for a fact that today there's a massive arbitrage between one cryptocurrency exchange and the other. And therefore you can shop around the world for any cryptocurrency exchange that will give you transaction fees that are better than others. So what I'm saying is that because this is open, this is the internet, you can all shop around and look for the best prices. So I also don't buy this story that is going to become so expensive that nobody's going to be able to access cryptocurrency exchanges.